At long last, Chef Victor Bongo has released his second cookbook, Born to Cook, and to celebrate, he's throwing a party unlike any other party, and we are here behind the scenes as they're setting up to give you a behind-the-book look at the food from one of Vancouver's best chefs.
The book, Born to Cook, my passion, 2.5 years in the making, and the whole purpose of this book was to give the people to get to know who Chef Bongo from the Congo really is. So it's a little personal because I talk about my family a lot. I talk about the relationship with my grandmother and my mother. I grew up with African food and I was trained in French cooking and my love for Asian and Spanish food. I took those experiences and I put it into this book. So you can experience some dishes from Moroccan, like Moroccan lamb, or I have my beautiful Egyptian crusted tuna, which I infused with a little bit of the Asian love with miso and mango coulis and a wasabi vinaigrette. On my trip to Brazil, I came back and I made a nice Brazilian oxtail stew, which is fantastic in the winter. I love pasta, I love Italian food, so you can find some nice truffle pastas in my dish, and you can find some nice beautiful risotto and also buco, so the flavors doesn't end there. But for those who want to watch what they eat, I also have some beautiful light salad with beautiful arugula and some beautiful fennel. So I focus a lot on the local, natural, grown ingredients. Dessert, dessert, dessert. Love dessert. Every dessert there, it's made with extra love and it's very simple to make. The big question people ask is, Chef Bongo, how did you get into cooking? What made you want to become a chef? Well, to be honest, when I was young, I didn't want to be a chef. I wanted to be a famous rapper. But you know what? That's a long dream and it didn't come as a plan. But what did come through was when I went to high school, I met an amazing teacher who said, Victor, when you're in my cooking class, you're so focused, but in your other classes, I hear that you're sort of a troublemaker student. I say, Chef, I love what I'm doing in your class, I love food, and I see myself being a chef one day, just because the love for food, it came since I was a kid with my mother, but back home, I wasn't allowed to cook, and being given the opportunity to cook here really allows me to give all my attention to it. So he says, you know what? I see something in you, you should go to cooking school. I said I would love to, but my family can't really afford it. But at the end of the year, I went to hug him and kiss him and said, thank you for all your help and your work. He looked me in the eye, he shook my hand, and when I opened my hand, there was a personal check for me to go to cooking school. I looked at him with red eyes, tears dropping down, and I said, thank you, and I will pay you back in full. He says, no, don't pay me back in full, pay me in success. I want to see you climb the ladder and be one of the best chefs that the city has ever seen. Without him, I wouldn't be the chef that I am today. So to him, his title, I give him as my founder and my creator. And forever, in anything I do in the industry, he will be the first one I praise. The biggest change in my life when I went back to the Congo. Well, first of all, and sadly, I experienced seeing my grandmother passed away in her bed after seeing me. But the last few words she said that really spoke to me was, welcome home, my son, I am proud of you. And then she said, don't forget where you came from, do something positive to save those in need, just like you were saved. And then she was gone. Next day I was confused. I had no idea what she meant by that. What can I do to fulfill grandmother's last words? Walking in the street of the Congo at night, what I saw there shocked me. The best idea that came to me was, maybe what grandmother mentioned, it's making sense now. Save those in need just like you were saved. Help those that needs you. So I came to the conclusion that, you know what, I'm gonna take these kids out of the street and I'm gonna provide for them. So I opened up an orphanage, nothing fancy, a big warehouse with small beds, and to provide them with food. And I've been doing that strongly for 5 years, out of my own back pocket, because I believe in these kids. Here in Canada, I'm involved with a group of kids. It's called Soup Chefs of the Universe. So what we do is we give back to these kids who don't get the experience to work with chefs and do cooking classes. But you know what? It doesn't end from here, you know. So we're giving back to the kids and we're also giving back to the adults. Once a year, I'm on East Hastings at the Union Gossip Mission on Christmas Eve and cooking with them. And when I'm there, I'm not Chef Bongo, I'm a nobody. I stand there and I cook just like everybody else and give back. When I created this book, all the leftover food from the book, we went to East Hastings and we actually give the food away. Because why waste? I come from Africa. I came from a starving country. People don't waste food, so why should I waste food? So one of my big things is never waste food. So we had the blessing to take every food from the book, let them be our second taster, as I call it. So that is Bongo from the Congo, giving back, not only in my community in the Congo, but also here in Canada, where I call my home. My biggest inspiration, I'm gonna say, it is my mother again, because back in the Congo, a woman's job was to only cook and be in the kitchen. So, and that was a time where it was her ground, she could do what she wanted and be herself. So watching all those happy moments really inspired me to be the chef that I am today. And every time I go through some hard times in the kitchen, I think of the moments that Mama was dancing and Mama was cooking. I say, you know what? I know what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this because it made my mom happy, and seeing her happy made me happy. To be a chef to where I am today, it took a lot of work, and I was stayed humble the whole way through it. And a lot of young ones who want to be where I got today, a little message to you out there is that you really want to stick to your passion. Love what you do comes first, money comes after.